European Union Advisory Mission in Ukraine. European Union Advisory Mission Ukraine EUAM Ukraine is a civilian common security and defense policy CSDP mission of the European Union. It aims to assist Ukrainian authorities to reform civilian security sector. It provides strategic advice and practical support to make Ukrainian civilian security sector more effective, efficient, transparent, and enjoying public trust. EUAM Ukraine works with a number of law enforcement and rule of law institutions of Ukraine, and it formally began operation on December 1, 2014, following Ukrainian government's request. EUAM Ukraine employs over 300 personnel that operate in Kyiv, Lviv, Odesa, Kharkiv, and Mariupol, implementing mission mandate according to such three main pillars of activity: strategic advice, hands-on advice and training for the Ukrainian partners, cooperation and coordination with Ukrainian and international counterparts and stakeholders. EUAM priorities. Human Resources Management. EUAM Ukraine supports its counterparts' efforts in ensuring that right people are employed to carry out the reform. As part of this effort, EUAM Ukraine helps its partners introduce merit-based, transparent recruitment system, as well as clearly measured performance evaluation system. Public order. EUAM Ukraine assists Ukrainian authorities in introducing best European practices in public order respecting human rights. EUAM Ukraine helps develop required legislation, as well as provides training for law enforcement units responsible for ensuring safe and peaceful mass gatherings, political rallies, sporting events, etc. EUAM assists National Police of Ukraine in creating and supporting new public order units. Dialogue Police, by providing training and equipment. Delineation of competencies. EUAM Ukraine advises Ukraine on how to divide labor and responsibilities between different civilian security sector agencies. It is important to coordinate the work of various agencies to avoid overlap. EUAM promotes vertical delineation between the ministry and subordinated agencies, horizontal delineation between various agencies working in civilian security sector, as well delineation within any given agency. Criminal investigation. EUAM Ukraine helps Ukraine to fight organized crime and corruption, to preserve the rule of law and protect citizens against crime. EUAM Ukraine, together with National Police of Ukraine and other international organizations, set up a special working group on criminal investigation that, among other issues, promotes intelligence-led policing, creation of a criminal case management system, and establishing witness protection program, etc. Community policing. This is a new concept of police work in Ukraine. It is based on the concept of building trust between the police and community they serve through transparency, openness, and proactivity. The aim of community policing philosophy is to transform police from being an instrument of the state into servants of the people. Cross-cutting issues. Having identified 5 priorities above that affect Ukrainian partners working in Ukraine's civilian security sector in a different way, these cross-cutting issues are: human rights and gender. Human rights perspective and gender mainstreaming are an essential part of EUAM Ukraine's advice to Ukrainian partners working in civilian security sector, in particular the police. Anti-corruption. As corruption is widely considered the biggest obstacle to the reform in Ukraine, EUAM Ukraine aims to enhance anti-corruption capacities of Ukraine's law enforcement agencies and the judiciary. In this regard, EUAM Ukraine assists the newly established anti-corruption agencies of Ukraine NABU, SAPO, and NAC. Good governance. EUAM Ukraine's objective is to make sure that EU principles of good governance, openness, participation, accountability, effectiveness, and coherence are reflected in the advice and support provided by the mission. Head of Mission: Anti-Jew Hani Hartikainen since 1 July 2019. Previous Heads of Mission: Kestutis Lansinskas 1. 2. 2016-31. 5. 2019. Kalman Missay 8. 8. 2014-31. 1. 2016. Field Offices. When the mission was launched in 2014, it operated from its HQ in Kyiv. As the activities were expanding and number of projects carried out by EUAM Ukraine in the regions increased, 2 field offices FO in Kharkiv and Lviv were established. In 2018, field office in Odesa and a mobile unit that operates across the country were added to support EUAM commitments in the regions. A second mobile unit that operated in Mariupol was established in 2019, which, in June 2020, transformed into EUAM Field Office Mariupol to solidify EUAM's expanding activities in the east of Ukraine. Main interlocutors: Ministry of Internal Affairs MOIA and its agencies National Police, Patrol Police, State Border Guard Service, etc. Security Service SSU, General Prosecutor's Office GPO, as well as judiciary authorities and anti-corruption bodies NABU, SAPO, SBI. Main achievements. Some of key EUAM Ukraine achievements in the civilian security sector reform include contributing to drafting strategic documents, among them Law on National Security, Ministry of Internal Affairs of Ukraine's Development Strategy 2020, Witness Protection Program, Security Service of Ukraine Reform Concept and Action Plan, etc. Introduction of community policing concept into police work. Introduction and promotion of a new approach to public order through dialogue police. Assistance in development of the Serious and Organized Crime Threat Assessment SOCTA program to help fight serious and organized crime in Ukraine. Restructuring the work of police criminal investigations departments by merging investigators and operatives, etc.